Sorry for being late. I attribute that to YouTube and how they sometimes when you set the time with your phone, for some reason the time will revert back to the previous stream. So I thought I'd set it to 8 o'clock because I don't want it to be 7 o'clock all the time. It was just the other day. But anyway, here we are, 7:30 or so. Let me take a look here. I haven't really had a chance. I figured I had until 8 o'clock, so I'm not really all set up. Hey, the Thai baht is up to 32.20. That's one of the few positives of this hysteria, this craziness going on. It's 82 degrees right now, high of 91, low of 80 degrees. It wasn't all that hot yesterday. Yeah, today is St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day. It's a shame that there aren't things to celebrate it, like in bars and parades and stuff. Humidity, 87%, 0% chance of rain. Winds east-southeast, 5 miles an hour. Feels like 91 degrees. So it's 82, feels like 91. It's supposed to be, what did I say, 92? What's the high? 91. 91, so my guess is it'll feel somewhere around 101, between 101 and 105. But it's sunny, and there still are people out and about. Some people, they have to work, they have to do things. Some people are just trying to capitalize by being open. The air quality index is 70 right now, which is moderate, which is quite good. And, I guess, well, where do we begin? Chiang Mai, 167, the air quality index, number 4 in the world. Yangon is 160, number 10, really bad. The pollution has just gone nuts, but still, in the last couple of years, especially, but it's still rather high in some areas despite this virus. And so, I'm not completely retired. I wish I was, but it's not the way that it works. I've been on a retirement visa. I've been on a media visa. I've been on a marriage visa. I've been on a tourist visa. I've been on a non-immigrant B visa. Anyway, let's move on here and see what's going on, because I do have quite a few things to go over. A lot of celebrities, for what this is worth, a lot of celebrities are now coming out saying that they are infected with this virus. And I have to say, I watched the movie last night, Contagion, which I don't know why I did. I just figured, hey, why not? I'm home. I'm not going out. And that's, the person who did the movie, I guess his name is Steven Soderbergh, really took the time to research this and this movie, because it exactly mirrors what's going on now, with the exception of the numbers so far that have died, which the last I looked was over 7,000. I want to see in Thailand. I think it's 144 or something like that. But I'll find out in a second. Alex, my son Alex, who's in university, has no school for the rest of this week, and then he begins online courses on Monday. I guess that gives them time to set up, but now they're up to 147 from 144, which was last night. And I'm trying to see, where's the little button, though? It's better I look on my phone because it looks like there's one right in my area now. I don't know. What is this? I don't know. Oh, I'm going to have to switch it. I don't feel like reading this shit in Thai. It's be a pain in the neck. But, yeah, it's gone up in Thailand. We're up to 147 here, which is not very many people. When you really think about it, it's a very small percentage of people. I'm really torn about this because, I'm not a virologist, I'm not an epidemiologist, I'm not someone who does anything more than researches this stuff online and aggregates information. That's what I do. And that's not the same as being someone who has studied these diseases all their lives. So, let me see something here. That said, this is the thing that really is difficult. Who do you believe? Just how bad is it? Because do I think they should do aggressive testing? Listen, I don't. I think if that's what will stop this, I think yes, then they should do aggressive testing, such as in South Korea. The thing is that I looked, and I can tell you right now how much each hospital is charging you here in Thailand. But it's between 5,000 and 13,000 baht. Now, somebody said that the guy Niall was tested the other day, and it didn't really cost him anything. I don't know where he went, if he went to a government hospital or whatever, but the private hospitals are rather expensive. And I can tell you that most people don't want to go to the government hospital. They prefer to go to a private hospital. If for not for any other reason than it's just there's so many people and it takes you so long to get in. That's why you go to a private hospital. You get in faster. All right, what's going on here? So, I'm looking right here. Let me see. What hospital is this? Did it pop up? This hospital is what? Bangkok 9 International Hospital, 7,900 to 10,000 baht, which is just over, it's about $250 to $300, something like that. Paulo Memorial Chok Chai 4, 5,000 baht. Let's see if I can get another one over here. BMA. Oh, this is just a confirmed case. Male, 21 years old. Confirmed less than 6 days ago. More than 3 days ago. Through 2 independent test labs, he's hospitalized. All right, this one, that's the Paulo. Let's see here. Paulo Chuk Chi. Okay, so all the Paulo hospitals, they're 5,000 baht. Paulo Memorial Prapadang, which is down towards Samut Prakan, that's 5,000 baht. So you're looking at anywhere from, here, Paulo Memorial ranks it, 8,000 to 10,000 baht. This way is isolation. Can't spread it if you don't have contact. Goes with about every 14 days. So this prediction, 1 million cases worldwide in 2 weeks. Wow. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, Paul, in Ireland. Top of the morning to ya, laddie. Niall, were you tested for this virus? And if so, how much was it? Because I'm looking at the prices right now. Somebody said, oh, he didn't pay very much. So I'm wondering if you did get tested, where did you go? And how much did it cost you? Because the prices they're showing online are, to me, for a Thai to have to pay 5,000 to 10,000 baht, and I've read as high as 13,000 baht. That's just crazy. Really. And I got to say that, Nicholas found a job. Alex is working, but he's out for work now because of this. Oh, okay. Well, that's completely different then. Um, Completely different story. So, whatever that person said that told me, it was in the chat, one of the chats, the last chat or two chats ago, I can't remember. Anyway, Alex is working at university, which is great, and but he's not working now. He's off. They said he went in yesterday, and they said this is the last day, but we need you to finish out the. Oh, I left the Nightbot on. Sorry. Yeah, we'll pick up some merch anyway if you can. And no, there's not any COVID-19 shirts there. I'm not going to do that to anybody. I'm not going to try to capitalize on that. Oh, God. Okay, well, that's good. It is good. The thing is that the one big thing. You're jumping to conclusions there, Longhorns. Anyway, let me finish the story about Nicholas because I'll forget. Um, he has been looking for work because he's been home. He's bored, and his friends are pushing him to go, try to go work in Big C or Macro or somewhere like this, so that they can hang out together, make a little money together, work, and they have their own spending money. They don't have to ask their parents. They're good kids. So happy St. Patrick's Day. And so I found out that he did get a job, and it's down the street. At a restaurant, he would have been a waiter or somebody just greeting people and helping them, sitting them down or whatever. And so he told me the other day, I start work on Wednesday, and I go, no, you don't. No, you don't. I'm sorry, but you're not going to go to work. And he was pissed off for a few minutes. He was pissed. He was like, no, I got to go. And I was like, no, I don't think you understand. Because you're going to go there, and basically, if you watch that movie Contagion towards the end and in various parts of the movie, well, that's what I'm doing, Beyond Trinity. I'm using his expertise and Alex's expertise. Alex is already pushing me to get all the video clips ready for the next video, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, I just had to tell him, no, you can't go. You're not gonna go. You're not gonna go work at some restaurant, especially as a waiter, where people are grabbing things and you're transferring cups and dishes and trays and glasses. It's not gonna happen. So he's home. He says he's not getting a little stir crazy, but I think he is. Alex is fine right now, and he's not going back to school. Like I said, he's going. He starts Monday online. Yeah, that is good because that is expensive for people, especially Thais. I mean, listen, it's still if they charge you 9,000 baht, that's about $300 US. That's not cheap for a Thai. That could be anywhere from say a week's wage or a couple days' wage or a day wage, whatever. But for the average Thai, maybe a week's wage to even a month's wage. So that's quite a bit. And it's just what happened? Come on, baby. It's just something minor. I don't know why that happened. That was kind of weird. It was just minor, but my concern is that he goes out and he gets it. He doesn't even know. He's asymptomatic. He doesn't know. He gives it to Alex. Alex gets sick or I get sick. And I'm the one probably who is at the most risk, or Bo gets sick or whatever. One of us gets sick and something, gets serious. So that's something to think about. And so they're not going out. I haven't been out. This is I think it's day 6 for me. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's what, Tuesday? Yeah, today is day 6 for me. I haven't gone outside of the house aside from going into the carport and giving the dog some water, and that's it. And I don't really have any need to go anywhere else. Now we could use a little more food, a little more meat. That's what we kind of need is meat, and I want to get a couple other things, just like another bottle of cooking oil, and but we're pretty much set. We're okay for a while. Nothing really more than we would usually have, just a few more noodles and a few more things. Well, that's good. You're not in the high risk group, which is a good thing. But I do have quite a few articles to look at. Bruce just sent me a clip from the Bangkok Post saying Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha raises his fist as he makes a televised announcement of the government's efforts to contain the COVID-19 virus on Monday. He declared Thailand will prevail. Now, what are the leaders supposed to say? Really, what are they supposed to say? Are they supposed to come out and go, I don't know, I think all is lost. You guys better be careful because we're all going to die. That's not what they do. They just don't do that. I mean, I can't think, I'm sure there are some leaders who have admitted defeat, whether it's in a war or whatever, but for the most part, when it comes to something like this, they don't admit that their country can't handle it. At least a country like the United States. Now, maybe Italy and Spain, and they kind of, what are they going to do? How can they hide the fact? How can they hide what's going on? Let me take care of this because I don't want this. I don't want this Nightbot working right now. All right, we should be okay. There we go. Now, see, this is what I mean. I want to get rid of that and stopped it now. Anyway, what I was saying is, a lot of actresses and stuff have been testing positive, and actors, of course, Tom Hanks and his wife. I'm looking at something right now. It's the girl who was the Ukrainian-born model Olga Kurylenko, who was in Quantum of Solace, which is the new James Bond movie that was scheduled to come out. I think it was this month or next month. And I said it was going to come. They moved it to September. It's actually November. And then the guy who may play the new Bond, Idris Elba, has also tested positive. And, this is the thing. I'm hearing all these different things from numerous people. People who, obviously no medical training, the majority of them, absolutely no medical training. And, it's, like I've said about 100 million times, it's all conjecture. I tend to listen to the experts, and what I still believe is that the repercussions from the virus becoming known are worse than the actual virus itself, probably, at least at this point. Now, what was it that they said in the movie? Nothing spreads like fear. I definitely, I have no problem telling you that I have a problem with trust and the government. BTS on the way back after meeting you. And felt tired and groggy when I got back to condo. It was burning up, so went to the hospital. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, well, if you saw that movie Contagion, there's a guy on the bus. He's on the phone with this, I guess she's CDC, and Kate Winslet. And she tells him, get off the bus right now. You need to get off the bus. Get off the bus. So the guy gets off the bus. By the time she gets there, he's dead. Well, I do think that you basically need to stay put. And that's the thing, Niall. Like I just said, nothing spreads like fear, which was in that movie. That was the phrase that was used. It's all the fear. It's listen. My mother said she went out. She had to go out to the grocery. Let me tell you a little story. She had to go out to the grocery. She's trying to get something, and it wasn't. She's not. Believe me. My folks are well stocked. They've got plenty of canned goods. They got a whole, walk-in closet full of canned goods and stuff. They're fine. You know, they may not be eating the food they want to eat, but they're not going to starve. So she went into the grocery, and she's trying to get something, and some guy like ran her over, basically almost knocked her on her ass because he was so gung-ho and so worried that he had to go. He was running around from place to place trying to get everything as fast as possible before things ran out. Now, that's the kind of thing, what happens if your 80-year-old mother gets knocked over in the grocery and she breaks her hip? What are you going to do if you're her son and, some guy does that, some asshole does that? What are you going to do? Crack him over the head? Report him to the police? What are you going to do? Well, I think that in the sense that, a lot of the countries are completely closed down. You can't get in or out. The nationalism is coming, and it's just a product of these restrictions. Now, let me see this here. Now, I got a message the other day. I did the little comments video, and where Alex edited the video for me. I appreciate the comments. And, listen, I'm a smart ass just because it's better to be a smart ass about things than to be, harping on people or giving them a hard time about their comments or whatever. It's all in good fun. But this guy wrote me, I'd like to see what Thailand looks like without all the tourists since the Wu flu has stopped global travel. Do day trips out and about to sites that are usually packed with visitors. It seems like now's the time to get good photos or a day in the life of Scott videos. Now, a day in the life in Scott videos, okay, because I'm not doing much. That's the thing. I got a boring life. Most of the time, to me, I have a boring life. Whether I'm going out photographing things and people don't know about it, or whether I am showing that I'm going out somewhere, it doesn't really matter. To me, I have a boring life. It's no big deal. But why would I go out now to make $25, $50, at most $250 a photo? Why would I go out to take photos right now? It's not the wisest move. I'm not in a good place. Although I'm not over 60, I'm overweight. I'm almost 60. I have some underlying problems, and I don't want to bring something home and get my family sick. That's the other thing. Who knows what will happen? You just don't know right now. So for me to go out, nah. Now, set my family up for life. Okay, maybe I'll go down and go out somewhere and start taking photos. But obviously that's not going to happen. Why not shut down for 2 weeks to help reduce transmission? I don't have a problem with that. It looks like, what was it, San Francisco? Did I save that? I believe I did. Jono's probably not awake this early. But let me see here. Didn't I save that San Francisco? St. Patrick's Day culture, blah, blah, blah. Americans stuck in Cambodia. I think I saved it. Let me see if I got it here. Well, I had it. That's where the producer comes in. That's where somebody like Alex or Nicholas or whoever comes in and can be very helpful. Much of San Francisco Bay area under shelter-in-place order due to the coronavirus. Now, I'm not sure where I was looking, but here we go. In the San Francisco Chronicle, San Francisco, Santa Clara, San Mateo, Marin, Costa, what is it? Contra Costa, and Alameda counties. Only essential businesses are open in 6 counties. A combined population of more than 6.7 million. What I'm wondering is, what are the guidelines? How are the police going to enforce this? Because it wouldn't surprise me. Listen, San Francisco's got a big problem. Where are the homeless going to stay? Where are the homeless going to stay? Where in the homeless shelters? Why don't they do that now? Where are they going to shit? You know, where are they shitting now? They're going to shit in the same place. Take it easy, Niall. Stay safe. Wash your hands. You know, all that good stuff. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, the spammers, they don't stop. Nothing stops them. Because they can stay inside and spam away. They got even more time now. If I'm there in standing on, I'm standing on his. If I'm there, I'm standing on his neck. I think that's what you meant to say. So anyway, all right. Let me get to some other stuff. Now you know, China, for all its boasting, and you know, I think I made myself clear. I'm not particularly fond of the CCP or the people that support it, but they've got 21 new cases, 13 more deaths. There's the serious and critical number of patients has declined. Obviously, they have kind of stabilized and are starting to decline. But who knows why that is? And I will say that the reason why it's declined isn't really all that important. If they are, whether they're using a gun to keep people inside or not, they're declining. That's what I mean. Well, yeah, that's another big question, is immigration. What if this gets really bad? What's immigration going to do? Declare a moratorium on visas? Everybody who's here on a tourist visa, what are you going to do? You know, you're not allowed to travel out. You're not allowed to come in. What are you going to do for all the people that need to leave? What are you going to do for all the people that have visas and they're going to expire, say, in the next few months, and they're going to be shut, they may shut down, or are they going to say, hey, if you come in, you must have a health certificate, you must wear a mask, you must wear rubber gloves. What's going to happen? I'm interested as to hearing what plan they have for those who need visas. And, you know, going to immigration right now, I can only imagine what that's like. And, you know, people in a fault, not very good advice. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Seems what is likely to happen. I'm not afraid of the virus. I'm afraid of too many getting in too fast. And yeah, there's a problem with the ventilators. You know, supposedly there's not enough ventilators that people need it and all this kind of stuff. So that's something else to think about. Today, I wanted to give today's shout out is to Mr. Jack. Thank you very much. Because this stream and all the videos on this channel are brought to you by my good viewers and Patreon patrons, VIP members, and viewer contributions. All right. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it. But all Songkran festivals have been canceled. Completely canceled. There is no Songkran this year. Well, if she's not in school, why is she going out? You know, because I think you said you had to go pick her up or something. Why is she going out? Most of the time, what does a kid need to go out? You know, Really, I mean, I told Nicholas, I said, listen, you want to go walk around in the carport in the backyard? You want to play with the dog? Blah blah blah. Okay, no problem. But other than that, unless there's something that's absolutely essential, why do they need to go anywhere? I don't think they do. Wow, we're seeing a tipping point here in Santa Clara County with exponential growth of our cases, said Dr. Sarah Cody, health officer for the county, at a news conference Monday. The county has 138 cases as of Monday, an increase of 72 since Friday. We need to take swift action as soon as possible to prevent further spread. Now, Soy Dog Cowboy, I don't think so. And the reason, Gennaro, I don't think that they should go out is because just because they're low risk, okay, I understand they may not get sick, but what about if they catch something, they're asymptomatic, they remain asymptomatic, but yet when they come home, they give it to somebody else, like their grandparent. To me, that's the concern. I'm not a father, went with her dad to Walmart. I know, I even heard, the other day Joe Rogan go, oh, I'm doing everything as normal. Now, listen, Joe Rogan is probably a very low risk. Nothing's going to happen to him. I really doubt that. But there are, like I said, the thing is that, so he catches it, and then he brings it home. He goes, sees his grandmother. Are you okay, Grandma? And then he gets her sick. So there's a lot of things that I think we don't think about and we don't know. And I always try to think of every single angle. I'm not always saying I agree with what I'm saying. I'm just bringing it up because it might be possible. Now, let me see if I can find this. Spain has exploded there. I'm really surprised. I didn't think it was that bad there. Their health system, but there was a time I was going to go to Barcelona and travel around Spain, but that was many, many years ago. I don't know anything really about the country right now because I haven't followed it. But they're behind Iran and Italy and China. 2,000 new cases, 48 deaths, which, listen, I hear people saying, oh, well, the flu kills more people. The thing with the flu is that we have kind of kept it under control, and we just don't know how big this is going to get. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I really think about is how big is this going to get, and what is it we don't know that may cause problems. You can't live in fear, but you got to be kind of cautious, and what I say is cautious concern. Yeah. Well, again, she might get sick and she may be okay, but what about when she comes into contact with somebody else if she doesn't know that she's sick? And one of the things that I've been saying, and the whole thing about the mask, which, speaking of that, let me bring this up, because there's an article that I was looking at about how culture affects people's decision to wear or not wear a mask. And here in Asia, a lot of people wear masks. In the West, people think you don't have to unless you're sick. But if you're asymptomatic and you have this virus and you're asymptomatic and then you pass it on to somebody who's vulnerable, how are you going to feel? My daughter is working in an assisted living, 11 seniors positive, 3 employees positive, 1 in ICU. She goes in every day. Now, does she, I'm assuming she wears a mask and she's cautious in the way that she deals with these people. She's not just going in without a mask and nothing. She's not washing her hands all the time or anything like that. Most people, I read, and of course this is coming from France, but yeah, you see. Uh, in France, I read something like only 2 people out of 10 wash their hands after they go to they use the restroom, the toilet. So, imagine you got if the guy's French, he may be one of the 8 people who takes a dump and wipes his butt and doesn't wash his hands. So, nothing against the French, but that's what I read in the article. I think people should be concerned, though. Really. Until they figure out what's up, and they may never figure out about this. Yeah, I know. They get a pretty bad rap, and some of it is quite a bit of it is well deserved. But I try to look at it like, are all Americans loud and obnoxious? No, they're not. So, it is what it is. But, that whole hand cleaning thing. But here's the thing here. Let me see. Let me take a look at this real quick. Oh, finally it's starting to show up. Face masks are sold out in stores worldwide, but whether people wear them when they go outside often depends on where they're from. In East Asia, where memories of the severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, outbreak 17 years ago remain strong, wearing masks when out has become the norm. Many see it as a collective responsibility to reduce the transmission of the coronavirus, with more than 120,000 confirmed cases in more than 100 countries. Some businesses have signs barring customers without masks from entering, while authorities in major cities in China, including Beijing and Shanghai, have made wearing of masks compulsory in public. But in many European countries and the United States, face masks can be used to racialize and stigmatize those of East Asian descent, including when a Chinese student from Britain's University of Sheffield was verbally and physically harassed in January for wearing a mask, and a Chinese woman was assaulted and called deceased in New York in February for doing the same. Now, I don't know where it was in Africa, but I saw a little video clip. I don't know if somebody sent it to me. I can't remember. Or I just saw it on Facebook. But they were in Africa. There was a couple Chinese people, Chinese guy, Chinese girl, in Africa, where there are a lot of Chinese on the continent. They were in some country in Africa, and the the Africans were saying, "You Wuhan" or something like that. "You Wuhan, you Corona, you Corona." I think that's what they were saying. "You Corona," and the Chinese were trying to go, "Hey, no, we don't have the virus. What the hell? We don't have the virus." And they wouldn't hear it. So you have to be careful because, masks aren't necessary according to doctors. Okay, again, I'm going to say this because, I like to believe the doctors. But then on the other hand, you think about it. If you're asymptomatic and you have it in the first 3 to 5 days, it's extremely contagious. So if you don't know you have it and you're going out without a mask on, and then you are close to somebody or you touch something, and which is very easy to do. You touch something, you're touching your face, and then you touch a surface, and you sneeze, whatever, and a little bit gets out. If you were wearing a mask, you would not have infected somebody. So, I've kind of, the whole asymptomatic thing makes it a little bit more reasonable to me to think that you should be wearing the mask. Now, the other thing is that a real big thing, and I even saw Dr. Oz saying it was, like this is like the vaccine for this virus, is wash your hands all the time. Because if you wash your hands all the time, you'll have far less problems. And, okay, that's a good thing. I understand that because, not to be a germaphobe, but that's what causes a lot of illnesses is the germs, and it's transmitted either in the air or through physical contact. But and I believe in the social distancing and all that kind of thing. I just don't know about the mask. Now, getting back to this, one thing, and I did see this on Twitter, is that here in Thailand, where people, and in other parts of the world, if it makes them feel better, and you, especially if you're a foreigner, if it makes the Thais feel better that I'm wearing a mask and I don't get the shit kicked out of me because I'm not wearing a mask, and that's going to happen at some point, and it's already happened. I don't remember where it was, but people get a hard time. It's probably China. But, so I'll wear a mask. I have masks. We have masks. So if by chance I go out, I'll wear a mask just to make the Thais around me feel better. That's the only reason. And also because if I'm asymptomatic, which I don't believe I am, but you never know, then, I'm that much safer. Well, I saw a little video clip yesterday. My kids showed it to me. It's pretty funny. You see this guy drive up in a car, and he's like, "Hey, dude, hey, you." He's on a street corner, and the guy's like got a jacket on. He's like, "You talking to me?" Yeah, yeah. He's like, "What's the password?" He tells him some phrase. "You a cop?" "No, not a cop." So he hands him an envelope, and he goes, Here's the money." And then the guy opens his jacket up and pulls out a roll of toilet paper and gives it to him. I thought, man, that's brilliant. Brilliant. I should have thought of that. I told my kids, I wish I would have thought of that. It's brilliant. You pull out a little hand sterilizer. I think that's what it was. It was hand sterilizer and a roll of toilet paper. And he got an envelope full of money. Good stuff. But yeah, the culture, the Surgeon General of the United States said that people shouldn't be buying masks and they're not effective. But then, again, I go back to, well, if they're not effective, then what about people who are asymptomatic and can transmit the virus? Now, one thing that does bug me, and I think they're waiting as long as possible. Oh, yeah. But I was saying it the other day. I'm like, hey, you could use a towel if you really wanted. If you really needed it and you don't want to use water, then use an old towel that's not too dirty. Then go wash it. I don't know. Well, that's pretty nasty. Listen, something else that I was told was in the grocery, there was some guy standing in line. And the guy says to his wife, "Why are you buying this stuff? You know you're not going to eat it. You know we're not going to have that." And she goes, "No, I don't. Anything's possible. And if I have to eat that, I'll eat it. Let's get what we can." So, people are starting to realize, oh, well, if we can't get any food, we're in deep doo-doo. Literally. Well, maybe you don't throw the paper towels in the drain, Gennaro. Maybe you throw them in a bag like they do in various places in the world. I mean, even in Thailand, you get the toilet paper, and people are told, don't put your toilet paper down the drains because it'll clog them up. So you got to throw it in a little bin next to it, which is kind of nasty. But, that's the way it goes. Yeah, exactly. Today, what's going on here? I'm going to have to change things up a little bit. All right, there we go. That should be better. U.S. government passes, let's say, not be held liable. What? Throw them in the yard. If we get to the point where people, are wiping their asses with rags, I think that then we're in bad shape. It's not going to matter where the shit goes. So many people are going to be dying then. Now, in that movie Contagion, they were talking about 26 million people died. I was under the impression that the bubonic plague and the Spanish flu killed around 50 million people. In the movie, they said the Spanish flu killed close to 70 million people, which is huge. Obviously, that's a lot of people. But you can view it as one of two ways. I mean, the cold-hearted way is, well, that's culling the herd. But, that regardless, tell that to the people who lost loved ones. Oh, yeah. Wipe it with your mask and then put it back on your face. That'll keep people away from you. Pretty gnarly. What really gets me, though, is in Japan, how they just refuse to cancel the Olympics. Everything else is canceled, but we're not canceling the Olympics. No, the show must go on. Yeah, okay, the show must go on. California apparently has the most number of active physicians, with approximately 112,000. Then New York with about 89,000. Texas with 64,600. Florida about 60,000. Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Massachusetts, and then New Jersey. So that's good to know, I guess. It's always good to have that information. Now, I did see something the other day, and I don't know how they're doing. This was yesterday or day before yesterday. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. What do you need toilet paper for? What you need is food. What you need is soap and water. You need soap, water, food. That's what you need. Toilet paper is, that's farther down on the list. Listen, I've wiped my ass with my hand. So, I've got whatever, use a little water, use the hand, and use some soap. Oh my God, Ethel, we've got to have some toilet paper. When Ryan Knapp and his wife booked, hang on a second here, booked a Viking River cruise along the Mekong Delta, they thought it would be a dream trip, a chance to finally see Angkor Wat, the stunning Buddhist temple complex, and explore other parts of Cambodia. But what began as a long-anticipated vacation on a luxury cruise has become a stress-filled nightmare. With the COVID-19 pandemic spreading like wildfire across the globe, the Illinois couple is now stranded in a foreign country that is housing them in a filthy, dilapidated hotel after 3 other passengers on the vessel tested positive for the virus. They have no idea when or how they will be able to return to the United States. We're just feeling helpless. It's hard to see exactly how this plays out, the 57-year-old Knapp said during a phone interview from what he described as an abandoned hotel in Kampong Cham, a city in southeastern Cambodia where they were forced to disembark from their cruise. The Viking Mekong is styled as a colonial-era French riverboat. Foreign governments have been pressuring Cambodian authorities at the highest level to move the Americans and other foreign nationals to another hotel or to more sanitary surroundings. But the Cambodian government has insisted on keeping them at the hotel, according to a person familiar with the matter. The person spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of jeopardizing relations with the Cambodian government. The person said there is another separate luxury cruise ship currently stuck in Phnom Penh that also has Americans and foreigners on board. The Cambodian embassy in Washington did not respond to a request for comment, nor did the Foreign Ministry's office. On Saturday, Cambodia's prime minister criticized a certain diplomat from a certain country for asking them to move the Viking Mekong's passengers to Phnom Penh, Cambodia's capital, and a nicer hotel. Why would you criticize somebody for that? I mean, even if they say, listen, I implore you to do that, why would you think that that's a bad thing? Local media implied that the Prime Minister was referring to the U.S. ambassador in Cambodia. A State Department official who is not authorized to speak on the record said the agency is aware of reports about the situation, citing privacy considerations. Everybody's worried about everybody's rights. And this is getting in the way, and it's gotten away in a long time. And, it's just like, oh, you can't say that anymore. I can say whatever I want. You can't. And, people, I just go back to the whole sticks and stones thing. Whatever happened to sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never harm me. Now, I know if you're a youngster, that, the names hurt and bullying hurts and all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. There is a line you have to draw, but, it's gotten ridiculous. Knapp's wife, Teresa Gordon Knapp, said she asked her doctor before leaving the U.S. if it was safe to go on the trip. Yes, he told her. As seasoned world travelers, they were not worried about going, even as the coronavirus spread to the U.S. and outbreaks emerged in new hotspots. Now, I have to say that, this is one thing. People have been asking me, oh, should I come to Thailand? Should I still come? I got a trip. I really want to come. No, don't. Don't come. Well, yeah, that they're not putting them up at the, at the Hilton. They're just not doing it. Longhorns, have you talked to Richard lately? I'm wondering how he's doing. I can always send him a message, but, I'm wondering if he's isolated or what he's doing. Perhaps Tom, I added a bum gun to the toilet. Yeah, well, probably. Start buying MREs. They come with toilet paper. Spanish flu infected 500 million. That was 27 of the world's. That's probably possible 17 to 15 million, as high as 100 million. Yeah, I saw that. Sticks and stones have protection rights. Yeah, right. Okay, so let me get back to where I was at here. The couple arrived in Vietnam on March 1st. Did some sightseeing in Ho Chi Minh and got on the boat March 4th. Along the way, they learned that one of the passengers was exposed to COVID-19 on the flight over. All the passengers were tested, and 3 British travelers came back positive for the novel coronavirus. Cambodian officials transferred those 3 to local hospitals. The remaining 26 travelers who tested negative, including Knapp and his wife, were initially quarantined on the boat. But on Friday, the Cambodian authorities told us we had to get off the boat, and they threatened to arrest the tour manager if they refused, Knapp said. They literally sprayed us like insects with chlorine, I think, as they got off the vessel. Now they've been confined to a dirty room with a leaking toilet, barred window, and a door that doesn't lock. There are dead bugs everywhere and also live bugs, said Gordon Knapp, 60. Ants, flying insects, little lizards. All right, you're going to have to get over that, buddy. Really, this is Southeast Asia, and you're in Cambodia, and, that's how a lot of hotels are. Although they could have put them up in a better place to kind of give them a little bit better impression of the country. But another American traveler, James Cleveland of Michigan, said he and his wife had an immensely different experience in Cambodia. They were on a cruise run by Holland America in early February when the COVID-19 outbreak began to set off alarm bells around the world. Although everyone on the ship tested negative for the virus, the vessel was denied entry into South Korea, Japan, and elsewhere. On February 13th, Cleveland said after days of sailing from one place to another but never being allowed to dock, Cambodia permitted the ship to stop at a small port on its west coast. After everyone on the ship tested for negative, we were told that the Prime Minister and some other ministers of Cambodia were going to come down to welcome us to Cambodia. A group of dignitaries gathered on the dock, he said, and the Prime Minister gave them scarves and roses. The government then transported them to a 4-star hotel in Phnom Penh. They were wonderful, he said of the Cambodians. He noted that Cambodia is a very poor country, but they spared no effort to ensure their comfort. Listen, Cambodia is a very poor country, but believe me, I know people who have dealt with some people in the higher government. And the people in the higher government, they don't spare any expense. They're driving around in Range Rovers and Humvees and that kind of thing, and they have money. What is this? Do what we do in the army. Cut a barrel in half, make an house, shit in a barrel. When the barrel is full, burn it, repeat. I heard gas is cheap now. Walmart here, out of toilet paper. Oh, yeah. I don't know when they are some sheeple effect. I'll buy it. Print some there. So I already read all this. Stick and stones. Spanish flu was shortly after World War One, and people were not prepared for it at all. They're not prepared for it now. Pretty obviously, I don't think they're really prepared for it. We're better prepared technologically, but I don't know any other way if we are. Wow, if he's hiked up the visa extension prices, really, how much? That's pretty screwed up. Oh, well, you can't leave, so we're going to raise the extension prices. It's probably because they're overwhelmed with work, so, I don't know. They figure we might as well make some dough out of it. Knapp said the Viking employees tried to get them moved to a nicer hotel next door, but workers there threatened to go on strike, so the plan was nixed. Oh, nobody wants him is what it is. Some people are so naive about this that they don't look at the science of it, and I have a feeling that may be what's happening here in Cambodia. Some of the people are like, "Oh my God, no! We're all going to die, and we can't put them in our hotel." The local health department delivered thermometers and blood pressure pumps to their rooms with instructions to report their temperatures twice daily back to the ministry. Really? I'd be like, hey, you want me to report back daily? Put me in a better hotel. The Viking crew has been bringing them food every day, Knapp and his wife said, but they're worried about running out of prescriptions and other basic items. And now they've been told that the Cambodian government has stopped responding to calls from the American embassy officials in the country, as well as urgent pleas from Viking representatives. We're not being quarantined, we're being detained, said Knapp, a retired employee of Abbott Laboratories, a healthcare company headquartered in Illinois. Knapp said they know they have to be quarantined because of their potential exposure to the virus, but we'd like to do it in much more humane conditions. He and his wife have grown increasingly anxious about when their confinement will end. Their temperatures are normal, Knapp said, and they feel fine physically. But this is pretty mentally and emotionally draining, he said. After the initial publication of this story, Knapp said he was told they will be tested again on March 23rd. If we test negative, which we think we will, we don't know when and how we're going to get home. Wow. I would not want to be in their position. It was the last day for Carnival, and I worked at the terminal for quite a while. Not one case of the virus there. Wow. Reported sick and making the first recorded victim of the flu within days. 522 men have reported sick. And that's what will happen. I kind of wonder what's going to happen to all the people that are stuck inside. And, they're like, hey, wait a minute, I can't leave. Or, here's the thing. What about if you're stuck in a country? Let's say you're stuck in, say, where's a country that's, I'm not even going to look. You're stuck in a country that is a little bit pricey, and you're scheduled to go home after a week, and guess what? You got to stay for a couple of months, and you don't have the money for a hotel. Maybe it costs you $5,000, $10,000 to stay in a hotel for another month or two. And the hotels don't want to take you. Where are you going to stay? What are you going to do? What about food? I mean, what are you going to be in the, you're going to be in the Salvation Army? Anyway, we could talk about this all day, but we're not going to. And I don't want to keep doing really long streams. I did the one the other day because, a lot of people are home, and I thought it was a good idea just to do one little marathon stream, but I'm not going to continue to do them. And I want to keep the streams under, say, an hour between an hour and an a half, no longer. Maybe even 45 minutes, depending. So, I want to keep that in mind. But one thing I am going to do, I've been talking about doing a podcast. I am going to do a podcast. I am going to start it up again. I'm not quite sure when. It may be in the next couple of days. It may be in a month or so. It depends on how I go about podcasting, where I podcast, what service I use. if I keep the same name that I was podcasting under before, if I just use an American in Bangkok or I use something else. But the reason that I want to podcast is basically because then I can do things uncensored. Now, there's no interaction on the podcast unless I have a guest or something like that, which that's possible. But the whole censorship thing, I have to watch what I say on YouTube, and I quite often they demonetize a video, and it's not like the videos make a ton of money. I'm not, I don't get millions of views, so I'm not making, $500, $1,000 a pop. That's not the point. The point is that every little bit adds up, and when they're demonetizing videos because you talk about something like a virus or, Wuhan province or whatever, that's a little too far. I can understand, they don't want to hear the F word a million times. There's no real need for that, really. But the whole censorship issue is, wow. Now, you see, I just looked here. Live stream 24, it will get better before it gets worse. Now, they demonetized that, and they confirmed it by manual review. YouTube also came out. I guess they're cutting their staff back, the number of people who are working, because, let me see if I can get this on the other browser. Hey, Sasha, what's happening? On Discord. Yeah, I'm not too fond of, I'm not too familiar with Discord. I never really used it all that much. I guess maybe I could do that, but let me see something here. YouTube. Let's see what they say here. If the message pops up. But basically they've got a limited crew, so what they're doing is they're not even, if they decide to demonetize a video, yeah, it didn't pop up. If they decide to, that's probably because it's signed in on both browsers. If they decide to demonetize a video, then right now, because they don't have the manpower, they're just leaving it. Sorry, you're demonetized for this video. Not the whole channel, but I don't know about that. But sorry, you're demonetized. This video is demonetized, and we don't have the manpower right now because of what's going on, which, it's understandable, but doesn't make it any easier for me. So basically, that means, I understand, people don't always want to contribute. They don't always want to buy stuff. But when the advertisers are advertising in or on your channel, and then they just say, well, you're talking about the Wu flu, so we're going to demonetize you. When it is, everybody is talking about this. It is affecting everybody, almost everybody around the world. I know people who are just like, I don't want to know the news. I don't care. I'm not going to look at it. Yeah, okay, that's great if you can get away with it. Most people, they can't because they have to work, or they work in restaurants, they work in bars or whatever, something like that. Yeah, how am I going to make money from it? Beyond Trinity, that's the thing. I'm not going to do this if I can't make any money at all. I mean, it's just, in Washington State, we have 48 less T-shirts today. Huh? You know what I mean? Like, it's bad enough. I understand I'm making McDonald's wages here from the YouTube. But the number of views has slowly gone up again since I've kind of modified the channel a little bit. But, for them to be able to do that, I mean, they have the right to do that. It's their platform. It's their company. But I think it's a bit ridiculous. It's like Twitter saying you can't post anything that says, I like Trump. Work for me. Yeah, okay. Sure, that'll work. Well, that's the thing. You got me, man. Sorry, we'll run videos we'll run advertisements on your video, and you don't get paid for them. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's not the platform. So, they're going through issues also, and while, I kind of understand some of them, I think that it's a problem of being a huge company and not knowing what the other is doing, also being guided perhaps a little bit by the left, and that's the way it is. And the content and all that kind of thing is up to me. Now, I listened to some of my old podcasts yesterday. I can't stand myself on video or on a podcast. I try not to listen to it, but I want to listen to the content. And I think that's the way to go. But YouTube doesn't have any competition. If I really want, I don't have to put anything up on Apple. I don't have to put it. All I have to do is have a website. I could put up an audio file on a website, a podcast on a website very easily. I can say whatever I want. I don't have to be censored, which is great. But without the number of people that I have on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I know that feeling too, Mr. Mitch. Nobody's competition for me. Put all the audio files on Google Drive and link them from your website. I don't even have to really do that because I do have a way to YouTube, and I could do it on SoundCloud. I could do it on, what's that little Simplecast. I could do it on Libsyn. It costs money every month. It's not all that expensive, but it ain't cheap. It adds up. And I could do that, and the Discord may be an option. I need to figure it all out and kind of learn it, which I kind of took a little bit of a look at it, I don't know how many years ago, and then I just kind of have, stopped. But the thing is that, like, I got to push T-shirts, I got to push my books, mainly the people who buy prints from me are the people, those are premium, those are like I think they're 100% cotton, but those are the premium, those are the most expensive shirts that they sell, aside from the, what do they call it, the, eco-friendly kind of shirts, which they just came out with, this company just came out with like 2-3 days ago. In fact, I should be wearing them. But most of the time, to be honest, I think to myself, do I really want to spend money on these shirts? I got like 20 shirts. If I really wanted, I could probably get the shirts, get the shirts from the company and throw them on Alex and Nicholas, put one on me, and then, we could model for you. Tie them in a little knot so we show half of our shirt. That kind of thing, get all sexy looking. Put on a pink tutu. A little Hello Kitty pair of underwear or something, and model my shirts. I'm sure you guys would love that. But I got to be able to make money. And, that's why I was talking about that guy, what was his name? Adam Curry. If you look, he's got a podcast. What was it called? No Agenda or something like that. The only thing is that, I'll be honest, I don't know that I like the whole Bangkok only, Thailand only kind of, I figured that. I'm going to put it on right now, Longhorns. Not everybody is an American in Bangkok. The people can call in and talk crap, but it has to be moderated if you want the trolls. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I know you're up on that. I was wondering what's going on with you, but, where you've been, what you've been doing. But, that might be an option. I don't know. But, I was looking at one guy. This guy's this guy's an actor. This Dax Shepard guy. and he's got a podcast. I was looking into podcasts yesterday and the day before yesterday called The Armchair Expert. I'm pushing these other people's podcasts. And he sells like T-shirts. What else? Beanie, little drink mugs. He's got a $2,000 drink mug on here. He must be messing with people. He's got little, what are these? Oh, these are the little baby thingies that they wear. He's got all kinds of little merch. Oh, these are just, oh, this is all, okay. But his, like the thing is not everybody likes Americans, nor do they always want American stuff that says an American in Bangkok. If I've got some guy from Canada or, the UK somewhere, Ireland, maybe I should make an, Ireland in, I'm an Irish in Bangkok or something. I don't know. Oh, with the elephant on. Well, thank you, Tom. And because I will say that at this point, I don't really even need to do live streams. I don't need to do YouTube because it's so little money that the time that I spend, it's now I'm like giving my time away. It's worse than working at McDonald's. And I just do it now because I'm like, all right, well, so that's what it is. It is what it is. But I take responsibility for it. I started out with the chowderhead thing, and people like that, and some people still want it, and it's not going to happen. And I saw a guy say the other day, oh, I guess you don't want more, you don't, where's it at? Let me see this here. I guess you won't be getting any more subscribers or something like that. Which, whatever. I'm the guy who might if I made a movie and I made a couple $1 million, and then somebody said I had to make this other movie, and I was like totally against the movie, and I thought I got a couple $1 million in the bank, I just wouldn't make the movie. Was just reminded why I unsubscribed from your channel. No hard feelings, and I wish you only the best. Well, that's fine because people don't have to watch; they have choices. But, I refuse to walk around and shoot video of bar girls or anything like that. Yeah, it is, kind of. We'll order I like that feature. I like the feature, too. It sounds like a good thing. I just need to get over the technological aspect of it, which usually doesn't take me all that long. I figured out how to do the Skype thing on OBS. Do you get tornadoes where you live? I saw YouTube with some epic tomatoes. Well, Gennaro, you know that Auntie M was in Kansas. There's no place like home, Wizard of Oz. It's not my catharsis, man. I mean, really, as much as I enjoy talking to people here, and it is nice, and, it gives me a little something to do, especially now. Alex was going to do something the other day, and for whatever reason, we didn't do it. But we saw this video, and the guy was like, listen, I want you all to know I really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. But I want to say, VA crisis chat. Oh, I hope it hasn't resorted to that level. I'm just telling you what the deal is with YouTube. That's all. Doesn't bother me more than, I just go, hey, this is the way it is. What are you going to do? Well, I'm not going to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow for all you guys, I don't think my voice is that good. I wish I could hit those notes, but I can't. You can't please all the people all the time, It's just the way that it works. And I'm not going to try. I don't really care. But I don't particularly like being censored. So it's one thing, if I was to make $10 off of a video, but then they say, oh, guess what? We're taking it away. You're not going to make it. That's just not, that's not intelligent. It is a business. It's part of it. It's content. It's media content, whatever type of media it is. And I heard something somebody told me yesterday, and I had to laugh because I've been watching some Carl Pilkington because I love his stuff. Well, Manscaped pays me in underwear. And they didn't pay me the last time. They just paid me once. They paid me in underwear and ball cream and everything. So, if I start selling a lot of Manscaped products, then I make some money. But I'm not making any money from it. Underwear doesn't pay the bills. It don't buy the underwear is nice, but it don't pay the rice. Pay for the rice. What was I saying? Lost my train of thought. See how easy that happens? Oh, the whole YouTube, it is what it is. YouTube is what it is, and just because you used to be able to make good money from it doesn't mean you're going to always be able to make good money. But it was the whole Carl Pilkington thing. That's now I got myself. See, I cycled through in my brain, and I hit the Carl Pilkington thing. Well, yeah, it's quite nice there, Dr. Dre. Thank you very much. Carl Pilkington. He's had 3 shows, I think, that he was starring in. One of them I don't particularly like, which is, I think, Sick of It. It's pretty dry humor. The other one was The Moaning of Life, which is similar to An Idiot Abroad, which I really liked. I really like that. Now, I saw an interview the other day where, is that what I said, Beyond Trinity? I saw an interview the other day where Carl Pilkington, this is just a few days ago, but he did this interview, where the woman was like kind of almost pushing him. Come on, Carl, aren't you going to do another episode, another year of Idiot Abroad? And he's like, it's different time then. I'm different. Ricky and Steven are different. We're all different. Now, we've moved on. And, that is a good song. That's a good band. Great band. But anyway, so he's like, no, we've all moved on. We're doing our own thing now. We're doing different things. And that's kind of how I feel. But then somebody told me that Ricky Gervais was asked the same question. And what he said was, listen, when Carl started this, Carl just wanted to be able to pay his mortgage off completely to where he was spending only money for the basics, electric, water, food, whatever. And his mortgage was paid. He had a free house to live in. Hey, good morning, Jono. He had a free house to live in. Everything was paid off. He's like, after the first season of An Idiot Abroad, or after An Idiot Abroad, he's able to do that. He paid everything off. He has no bills. He has money in the bank. And he's like, what do I need to do this? What do I got to keep continuing to do this for? There's no motivation for him. So, when you look at certain things, I mean, I don't know what other YouTubers, especially big YouTubers, have changed and went from a certain type of content to another. But, to me, it's like the whole Chowderhead thing was a bit stupid. At this point, I look at it as stupid. I mean, it's just that simple. And the whole going around filming bar girls, to me, is a little bit too sleazy for me. Say what you will about me, I'm not a sleazebag. I may look like I'm going out to mow the yard, but I'm not a sleazebag. I don't take pride or take joy in going out and filming a bunch of girls who are doing what they got to do, to make a living. Just returned from max value, mostly barren shelves. My favorite song, We Get Up at 12 and Start to... Which one is that? At 12 and start to work at 1, take an hour for lunch, and then at 2 we're done. Which song is that? I don't know that song. Or maybe if you told me the name of the song, I'd know it, but... Jolly Fun. So the shelves are barren at max value. Wonderful. We've got to stock up on a few things. Oh, the Mario Land. Oh, yeah. I haven't watched that movie since my sons were kids. When they were kids, they watched it, and I haven't watched it in probably 10, 15 years. I love Carl. I've watched and listened to Ricky Gervais. Yeah, I have. I've watched the cartoons. I've done everything because I find their humor, it resonates with me. I like Ricky Gervais. I think he's very funny. He's brilliant. And I think Carl Pilkington. I love his timing and sense of humor. I just love it. And I had it pretty close though. Is that what it is? Yeah, I don't know. I have long forgotten about the Wizard of Oz and the intricacies of the Wizard of Oz. But if you guys would like to hear a little more, some content that's not quite as censored, where I'm not as censored, that may be a podcast may be the way to go. For me, because I'm a little bit disgruntled with YouTube, and I've been for a while. And I think most people know that who follow the channel. But, it's still fun. It's still fun sometimes. And, the video that Alex edited the other day, I'm like, you know what? I give it to him. Hey, man, whatever. For better or worse, I don't care. I want to see what he can do. Just because he's my kid, I want to see what kind of stuff what his own sense of humor is. No poultry except ground chicken and livers. No fresh produce to speak of. Plenty of fish. Frozen meats are scarce. Really, plenty of fish. Well, that's probably because fish is more expensive. Wow. That's not good. So the hoarding is already in serious effect right now. It's still available, but as of yesterday, let me see what it is today, because I might have to order some stuff. Today, deliveries all full. Tomorrow, there are deliveries. They're still making deliveries. Now, I don't know, if they'll fill up today, or if they'll be able to get everything that I have on this list. I've been compiling a list, and the thing is that I got to put the order in. But I've got a list that's growing. When I did an online order, a lot of product is out of stock. Yeah, but you don't use Happy Fresh, buddy. I got like every single grocery store available on one app, which is why I use it. Which is why I've been telling you to use it. Everything looks the same here. They're usually pretty good about telling you what's out of stock, but I'm sure that this is not the same. I may have to go out and take a look at my own grocery just to see. No rubbing alcohol. Well, rubbing alcohol has been gone for a while. Cleaning supplies, hand sanitizer, fish management is good. Frozen is next to nothing. Yeah. Dried beans. Well, we have a lot of dried beans. We got it's about 8 kilograms of rice we have, which we want to get another 10. First of all, because the rice lasts and it doesn't really matter if we have it or not. But second of all, because in a pinch, you can always eat rice and something else. Yeah. We got eggs. I'm sure, anything. I was thinking about it. The things that are perishable, eggs, fruit, raw vegetables, those things, people want to keep making money. And as long as they're willing to sell and to go out and sell, they're going to be available, So, something to think about. Dry beans and toilet paper, first thing to think about. I need to send a message to the old lady. I've got 22 squirrels that I hand feed every day. They will come in the house if I let them. Meals on wheels, baby. Yeah, you could always use a shovel or something to crack one over the head, or if you want to be a little more subtle, get yourself a little BB gun pistol. That'll do the trick. But one squirrel might find out or might see what's happening. They might tell the others, and then the thing is you drive them off. It is the Wuhan apocalypse here and around the world. Let's see if anything's going on. I can always count on CNN to give me the crazy headline. I don't always believe the stuff. Most of the time, I don't. Nothing will be the same for a while. Well, thank you. I already said that about how long ago? A couple weeks ago? Week ago? Something like that? Here you go. People without symptoms may be driving the spread of the virus. Now, let me look. Wow, what is this? More than half of American jobs are at risk because of the coronavirus. Wow. Amazon hiring 100,000 workers to keep up with online orders. Hey, there you go. I need to give them a call, try to get a job. Man. Wow. Oh, do you have to be at their location? Oh, yeah, in warehouse and distribution roles. The base hourly rate is $15 an hour in the U.S., but they're going to raise that to $17 an hour to try to get more people. So if you need a job at Amazon and you're willing to work in a warehouse, there's the place to be. Didn't Trump say no more than 10 people at a gathering? Yes, he did. Soon will be zero. Trump issues guidelines to slow virus. Analyst warns of forced compliance if people don't follow White House virus guidelines. Wow. Wow. The World Wrestling, what is it? WWE, World Wrestling, I don't even know what the E stands for. WrestleMania 36 being relocated. Yo, I switched my line account a while ago. I sent you a test message, see if you got it. I didn't get one yet. But go ahead and try to send. Let's switch my. No, I don't mind at all. Trump hates instantly the government here, so we will get locked down first. Let me see here. What is WWE? I can't remember what the E stands for. What the hell is WWE? It's bugging me now. All related events in Tampa Bay will not take place. We'll stream live on September or Sundays, April 5th, 7 p.m. on the WWE Network, and will be available pay-per-view. Only essential personnel will be on the closed set at their training facility in Orlando, Florida, to produce WrestleMania. So they're going to have WrestleMania in front of no fans. That's crazy. Entertainment. Yeah, that's right. I forgot they can't say sports. I used to like it when. Oh, here we go. I can't. I used to like the old NWA wrestling. It was more like, brawling. It was more like sport instead of phony wrestling. I like that a little bit more. The old thumbtack between the knuckles and popping guys in the forehead and then they start bleeding, that kind of thing. I like that a lot more than what was it? The Undertaker. What was that guy that used to walk out with him? The crazy looking dude. McDonald's. Wow. Requesting its U.S. franchisees close the dining rooms in their locations and just, I guess they're focusing on delivery only. Crazy, man. Here are the coronavirus guidelines. Okay. If you feel sick, stay home. God damn it. Why does this go on when I don't want to shut it off? Do not go to work. Contact your medical provider. If your children are sick, keep them at home. Do not send them to school. If someone in your household is tested positive, keep the entire household at home. If you're an older person, stay home and away from other people. If you're a person with serious underlying health condition, okay, we already know this stuff. Do not visit nursing homes. Avoid discretionary travel. Avoid eating or drinking at bars, restaurants, and food courts. Use drive-through, pickup, or delivery options. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face. Sneeze into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. I always love that. Khabib versus, well, I'm sorry, but I think the Apocalypse Zombies, they're going to win. Cool emojis. Late night shows are without fans. Mankind. Lou Albino. Wasn't it Lou? Was it Lou Albino? Is that what his name was? Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was, what was it? And Hulk Hogan choked the guy out with Richard Belzer, the comedian. That was an asshole move, to be sure. I mean, they're so sensitive about it, but the truth is, it's not real. Okay, the athletic aspect of it is real, very real. These guys are in shape, but it's scripted. Sorry, it's scripted. In my era, it was the Golden Greek, Man Mountain Mike, yeah, Haystack Calhoun, Andre the Giant, Abdullah the Butcher. And I like the guys, Dusty Rhodes when he was younger, Don Morocco, all those guys, Those were the guys that I really liked. Fox Medical contributor on what millennials need to do. Oh, Jesus. Senator Rick Scott on coronavirus response. The federal government cannot solve every problem. No shit. Listen, as much as these people are getting shit who are in charge, and I mean Trump also and all these other people. Oh, yeah, the Iron Sheik is great. That documentary about him was great. Fantastic. But as much as they're getting a hard time from people, you got to remember that these people, they're still human beings, and they're trying to run a country and try to, these leaders are trying to save their countries and save people, and it's all on their back. And it's kind of like, wait a minute. They're human beings, and this is something that we have not experienced. We don't experience on a regular basis. It happens, and the flu is different than this. And, at this point, the difference is that it's more contagious. There's a higher mortality rate, and we don't have a vaccine or a cure. And we don't know if that's going to change. So it is different. But it's not something to get too freaked out about it if you just kind of abide by what these people are saying. At the very least, you're going to be inside your house, you're going to be alone, and you're not going to be interacting with other people. So unless people in your house have it, you're not going to get it. What about Ricky Steamboat? Now, he was the beginning of the athletic type guys. Ric Flair was not exactly, he wasn't very athletic. In fact, a lot of people said he wasn't all that good of a wrestler. I like the guys like, what were their names? With Michael P.S. Hayes or something like that. What was the other guy? I don't remember who they were. The Rock and Rollers or the Southern something or whatever else. I don't remember what they were called. But those guys were pretty funny. Eddie Graham and in Florida, where I grew up, they were all, the shows were always televised. Every Saturday, they were televised, and every once in a while, they'd have a Sunday afternoon kind of thing. And I really like to sit and watch that. I used to watch, the old Elvira and Black Belt Theater and all that kind of stuff. Those were the good old days where you only had 3 channels. Everything is better in the past than now. Things were always better in the past than in the future. That's a lot of people want to believe that, but it's not always true. Jake the Snake, boy, that guy went through hell and back. Something else to think about is that the number of doctors and nurses per Mr. Fuji, the number of doctors and nurses per, per 100,000 or 1,000 people. Oh, the guy who was it Ivan Putski? One of those Russian guys. Oh, I used to like the Road Warriors. I mean, those guys were all right. Because you could see one of them running up to somebody and clotheslining them and just annihilating them. What was his name? Darth Vader? No, Big Van Vader. He fought an MMA fight, and I think he fought a couple. He got choked out in one, or he got knocked out or something in one. But he fought a guy that I knew, that he's the guy he was about 350 pounds. He punched me. We were sparring, just playing around. He hit me with a shot, and it made my neck click. My neck just went, and then I was screwed. I had to wear a brace for like 3 days. And he wasn't that great of a fighter, but he was just so big that if he hit you, you're screwed. But he fought the guy, and I think he lost. I think he lost to Darth Vader, Big Van Vader. Talking about wrestling now. Abdullah the Butcher. He's from province. Oh, okay, from your home province. I got it. Yeah, I didn't really like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I liked Rick Rude. I thought he was pretty funny. Guys like that. What was the other guy? Paul Orndorff. And I could just go on. I used to watch it all the time. I haven't watched wrestling in years, and I don't want to. It's just too phony now. Anyway. I guess, if you're all cooped up, you might as well throw on some wrestling. YouTube's good for that. You want to watch some old wrestling matches? You can find some on YouTube. Razor Ramon. Oh, God. One thing that Ric Flair excelled at was his interviews, and then same with Dusty Rhodes. I still remember I'll Be Styling and Profiling. That was a Ric Flair. And I'm going to get funky like a monkey. Which, yeah, baby. You know, and his story about being the son of a plumber, Dusty Rhodes, hilarious. I mean, wonderful interviews. They just, nowadays I look at them and, hey, we all going to get together this Saturday night. We're going to get together Saturday night, April the 14th, in the New Haven, Connecticut arena. And I guarantee you, I ain't playing this time. We're going to get funky like a monkey. I'm going to win the world wrestling title. You know, that kind of shit. Oh, my God. Hey, I've been selected to receive $1.5 million and a BMW X6 updated model. I just have to email Dr. Francis Chen for my CLIAM. It's not claim, it's CLIAM. And I have to send it to info@china.com. Or it was sent to info@china.com, so I don't know why I got it. That's pretty funny. We better trash all these. Who knows what's in them? Encoding overloaded. Well, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a problem on this. Snap into a Slim Jim. Randy Macho Man Savage. Yeah. Only 3 things you got to know to be a plumber. Shit phones downhill, payday is Friday, and don't chew your fingernails. Ew. Ultimate more. Yeah, he was a nutcase. One thing my buddy used to tell me, I still talk to him. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, and I finally got in touch with him. But he used to tell me, and this is, he was a plumber. Now he's retired because he's got all kinds of arthritis, and he really can't work. His hands are gnarled. But he used to tell me, hey, I'll never starve as a plumber. Your shit is my bread and butter. Oh, really? They made a game called Virus? Wow. I implore you guys to watch the movie Contagion. If anything, it's entertaining. Yeah, it's a strategy action video game developed by Israeli studio Kidum Multimedia and published by Surtech. The game levels take place in the user's hard drive, with files and directories being represented by 3D rooms through which the player navigates. The critical reception was generally negative. GameSpot claimed that Virus has all the appearances of a game that underwent numerous design changes but never really came together. All right, there you go. Greenland is hard to infect, like the coronavirus is not there yet. Yeah, what about Iceland? Has anybody thought about Iceland? What's going on with Iceland? There we go. I don't think there's any cases in Iceland, is there? Iceland, wow. 199 cases, 19 new cases. I don't see Greenland there, though. I wonder how many are in Alaska. I told you Alaska was a good place to go. I know there is at least one there. Greenland, 1. And it's in Bahamas, 1. St. Martin and St. Lucia, 2 each. Where is Trinidad? Martinique, 15. Yeah, I don't even know how many's in Trinidad. Am I passing them up here? Let's see. 4 confirmed cases. Wow. No kidding, there are probably some serious bugs in the permafrost. Yeah, I always wonder about that. Who knows? Again, you know, this is stuff that may or may not bother us in our lifetime. And since the majority of viewers in this chat seem to be older, 45, 50 plus, then, you know, we don't have all that much longer. We're more than halfway there, probably. And by there, I mean the end. And the thought that they could be weaponized. Yeah, nobody lives in Greenland. Actually, 56,000 live in Greenland. Huh. Maybe that's the place to go. How about Ireland? Ireland does have cases for sure. I got to see how many, though. Ireland, no, it's Iceland. Ireland, 223, which is 53 up. 2 deaths, 5 recovered, 6 serious cases. But they've got 45.2 total cases per million population, which is below China. So theirs is relatively low. Would have guessed more. Yeah, who knows, you know. I believe they shut down all the pubs and all the restaurants there. So, anyway, I think this stream is just about run its course. I'm going to have to try to figure out how to use this Discord thing. Excuse me. I don't know. Can you use Discord on a phone? On a mobile streaming? I don't know if you... I don't know. I guess you wouldn't want to do that. There's no reason to do that. Portugal, 331. Ooh, Burkina Faso. That's not a good place to have it. That's going to explode. People are going to get freaked out, man. If and when, and I don't think it's an if, I think it's when, more countries in Africa start to see higher numbers, I think it's going to really, they're going to go nuts there. That's a place I would not want to be. Yeah, only the government can record. Yeah, that's it. That's about how it works. Big time breakout, yeah. So I'm wondering how many of the people that are in this chat right now are isolated or only going out, or going out sparing. They're going out sparingly. They're only going out a little bit. How many people are still going out on a regular basis? That's what I'm kind of wondering. No, none of us have tried the chocolate. I was actually thinking about slicing off just a corner of the chocolate and giving it a little try. And I may do that on a video or a stream. I don't know, but I'm not. Right now, I don't want, the last thing I want to do is eat the gummy bear and the spicy chocolate because if something happens and I have to go to the hospital for some reason and they don't want to take me in because of the, the Wu flu, I don't know, Not a good idea. Not that that would probably happen. I don't think it would happen. And they may still take me in, but I don't want to take a chance on it. It's about the risk and the reward. There's always that risk. Well, we could order some chocolate, and I've been thinking about ordering a little chocolate and ordering a little bit of dark beer. It'll serve as a meal once in a while. That would be nice. Yeah, that's it. I'll just take it in. Sure. I'll just wolf it down. Why not? Jono, you're more than... I'll ship that chocolate to you if you want, and I'll use rubber gloves when I put it in the package if it makes you feel better. You can eat the chocolate. I have no problem with it. I'll let you do it, and you can just send me a little video clip of you heaving into the toilet after you eat it, or... Well, I don't want to see that, but when it comes out, it's probably not going to be very pleasant. Because even the chip, there was some... a little bit of fire down below. In more ways than one. So. Oh man! Yeah, I want to get some. I don't want to. I don't want the light. I want the regular San Miguel. But I'll take the Coopers. I'll take what was that other one that I had? It wasn't Coopers. Oh, it was the London Fuller London whatever dark stout. I mean, Anybody feel like shipping a couple cases of beer overseas for Jono and I? That'd be wonderful. If W symptoms test positive. What? Wuhan symptoms, you isolate them at home because most are mild, so that means isolation is most important. Yeah, well, I mean, let's take a look at a lot of the United States, the American people. A lot of them don't want to stay inside. They don't have either they don't have the means or they don't have the discipline to stay inside. They're like, hey, what do I need to stay inside for? I don't care about this and whatever. And maybe they'll get lucky and nothing will happen because of it. But do you really want to take a chance? And the thing is people are going to start getting pissed off. Police officers and those kind of people, authorities are going to get pissed off if they start seeing people walking around for no reason. In a neighborhood or something, they're just walking down the street. Oh yeah, I just felt like going for a walk. I'm chilling out, man. And maybe I'll go see my girl and I go hang out and I think that some people will eventually get pissed off. Don't you know you're killing us? The spread of fear is probably worse than the spread of the virus. San Miguel would be good, and San Miguel is cheap. Listen, if you're locked up, you're shacked up for, weeks at a time, I have a feeling that the birth rate's going to go up in about 9 months. So. Anyway, this stream has run its course. This course has run its stream. I got nothing else to say. But here in Thailand, no more Songkran Festival. The holiday the 13th from the 15th is no longer an official holiday here. Yeah. And we'll see what happens. But I think if we stay inside or we stay away from, you got to have a little social distancing. Thank you, Stephen, Jono, Gennaro, yada, 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 Mr. Billy, Mr. Mitch, Beyond Trinity, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Wonder if COVID-19 will affect babies with any defects. Good question. Yeah, choke D, cop. I'm gonna, I'll have a video going up in the next couple days, but maybe I'll stream on Thursday, and maybe what I'll do is I'll stream and I'll have an answer to what the deal is with the podcast, because YouTube, for a number of reasons, just ain't cutting it. I think a podcast might be better suited for me, and also I don't have to. Well, I could still shoot video, but I don't have to shoot video, which makes it a lot easier. Just because, I could sit there in my underwear. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of podcasters sometimes, maybe Ricky Gervais does it. He's sitting in his little silk undies, or laying in bed doing his podcast. I don't know, But that's the freedom. I like that freedom. Yeah, I'll be wearing my Manscaped underwear. And, by the way, use the code Malin20 and go to manscaped.com. Use the code Malin20, and you can save on your first order. Lur jerkin my, let jerkin my, let jerkin my, let. It's coming to get me, Elizabeth. Anyway, binge watch your shows on Netflix or on YouTube, whatever. Yeah, the Dying Buffalo Fund. Yeah. Send it to Scott, and I'll make sure that Longhorns doesn't get it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's the big fear. You cough in the wrong place, in the wrong environment. People hear you, and the next thing you know, they're beating on you, or they've got a long pole and they're hitting you with it to try to get you out the door. But anyway, I'm a little bit excited about a podcast, to be honest. And, it's just a little bit of a tweak. So, what else do I got to say? Let me look at my little notes here, because they're important sometimes, because I don't always remember everything I need to remember. It's time to say goodbye. If you find this stream or channel valuable or entertaining, get yourself an American in Bangkok t-shirt or mug. Get some merch. Pick up one of my books. Become a Patreon patron. That's going to become more important, I think, with the podcast. Hey, if you're not already one, subscribe. Do what you got to do. Look in the description. And by all means, if you got a stupid question, use Google, because it's your friend. If you've yet to subscribe, please do so. Click that bell to make sure you get notified of when a video goes up or when I'll be streaming or podcasting, because I may use the YouTube to notify people when a podcast is going to go up, at least in the beginning. Click like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. I like that. Blah, blah, blah. I like better than yada, yada, yada. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I guess that's the end. Talk to you guys later.